Hey, Clean Nation podcast, YouTube, Facebook group, everyone within the sound of my voice. I'm so excited you're here. If you are looking to grow your cleaning company, you're in the right spot. Today is the day. Lindsay gathers questions from you guys. If you have a question, post it in the Facebook group, tag her, email support@growmycleaningcompany.com. If it's a good question, we'll do our best to answer it. That's it. Lindsay, who do we got on tap today? Who can we help? What's shaking?
Yeah. So, me and my themes kind of went with another oldie but goodie because it's so good. I wanted to know, Cleaning Nation, what's the number one thing that is out of control in your cleaning company? So we had State Cleaning Services on Facebook. Didn't catch a name, State Cleaning, sorry. But State Cleaning left a comment and they said bookwork and invoicing is what I struggle with the most. I seem to spend 2 days a week trying to get it all done. I have around 20 contractors. Some of them are doing up to 5 jobs a day. Each job needs to be invoiced out. Other contractors are working on larger jobs together with up to 5 workers or more. I need to collate all the information before I can send out invoices. I am constantly chasing people to find out the information I need at the end of the day to send out the invoice. It's very frustrating at times and so much work. So, Mike, that was the TED Talk. What say you?
Yeah, that was a big one. So State Cleaning Services, whoever you are, I'm going to do the best I can to answer based on the very limited information I have. Feel free to email me. If you're doing that kind of volume and working on that type of job, there's a lot more I think we could probably help you with at a higher level. So shoot me an email, mike@growmycleaningcompany.com. Be like, hey, I was State Cleaning Service. I had a question. It was long. I'll do what I can to help offline a little more effectively. But online, gosh, there's 2 or 3 things right off the bat. So first of all, an accountant should be doing all of this. Let's just start that. So we should have the right person doing the right job. And our job as owners is to take the data that the accountant collates for us, to use his word or her word, and make judgments and decisions based off that data. But it's not necessarily to gather that data, right? If there's no one else to do it, then we got to do it. The accountant's job is to gather the data, input all that stuff. That should be an accountant's job. Second, I wouldn't even send an invoice. Frankly, I would just have an agreement that we're going to run, because you've told them how much it is. They probably gotten a bid. They've agreed to it. I would just literally run their credit card, and in QuickBooks, you can press a button that says send them an automated sales receipt. And I'm sure you guys have gotten that from software, things that you've signed up for, where they don't send you a bill. They just run your card and then send you a little sales receipt. So I would just have my accountant run the card, send a sales receipt. I'm not going to send them an invoice. When I hear some people are doing, 20 contractors doing up to 5 jobs a day, 5 jobs is a lot. Are we charging too little for these? Are these too small jobs? So I'd want to have a more global conversation about what kind of revenue do we, that's what I want to talk to you offline, just because what kind of revenue are you doing? What's the average job size? Are these recurring? I think there's probably a functional problem. I think this is more of a red flag to some other issues than the problem itself. So the invoicing short answer is it should be more automated and an accountant should be doing it. And then when you say bookwork, I need more information on that. But I think it's a systemic problem that we want to really solve that problem, and then all the downstream problems will get fixed, as opposed to trying to rearrange the deck chairs in the Titanic. Certainly you could have it subbed out to an accountant, but I want to know what's going on with these 5 jobs per day per team with 20 contractors, and I need more information. So hopefully that was a generally good information for all y'all out there in Cleaning Nation. And again, for you specifically, State Cleaning Services, whatever your name is, shoot me an email, see if I can't help.
All right. So next up, I saw a trend. There's always trends with answers. So of course, one of the big trends was people had problems with getting more clients that felt out of control. They probably not enough, as opposed to out of control, I'm assuming. Colin and Amy in the Facebook comments both said getting more clients. Sean emailed in, said generating more leads, similar topic. But I found a couple of very more specific questions about getting clients. So Tampa Bay said, I need more clients. I just started my business and seems like everyone wants to scam us with fake leads. So this is a new one for me, Mike. Have you heard about people getting scammed with fake leads when they have a new business?
There's a lot of scams out there, not necessarily fake leads, but your Google profile is screwed up. Call us and we'll fix it. Your Facebook account's been blocked. You're going to go to jail. The government's angry, all these sort of things. easiest, just general thing to make sure if it's fake or not. Just look at the URL, right? And it's like,
Mhm.
we're with Facebook and you've violated our terms of service and we're angry. Click here, and the here is like net2.net versus whatever / Facebook or something. Like it should be facebook.com / account resolution or something like that, but facebook.com. So just that's an easy one. When it comes to the lead gen, I think there's some nuance in there. So certainly there's some outright scams out there where people just scam you, but very few of that is what I really hear. What I hear is people not feeling like they got what they wanted or what they thought they were paying for, what they thought they agreed on. And it can just be a lack of expectations of communication. So I'll try and give you guys some clarity. One is, like the Barks and the Angies and stuff where they do give you leads, but those leads might be sold, or not might be, are sold to 4 different people. So that's why you can get a cheap lead. They sell to 4 people. Is it a scam? No, it's not a lead source I would choose to buy from, but they're not scamming you. They tell you they're doing that, or maybe you listen, maybe you don't, but they tell you, they're clear. And then also it could be like, I called the guy and he wasn't interested. Like, I still don't think it's a scam. Like, or they're just giving you a fake number. They tried their best and whatever. So just to be clear, I don't think a lot of it's just an out and out scam, other than, if it's like send us money to unlock your computer, real scammy stuff, but like just general things like Bark or lead sources. I think they're just lead sources that aren't effective. And the problem with most of it is everybody just wants the one easy button, and marketers speak to that as I guess they probably should, selling easy buttons. So the problem is everyone just wants it to be Facebook ads or local service ads or telemarketing or whatever. And telemarketers obviously are like, well, we're the answer. Or they'd be, like, we do coaching. I definitely feel like coaching is a huge thing and will really help. If I didn't think that, I would be a liar. So it's okay for me to be a little biased, or I can't just outright lie, but I should have some sort of bias towards coaching if I'm going to sell coaching. But it would be still disingenuous or dumb for me to go, coaching's everything. And if you just pay a coach, you don't have to do it, just pay a coach and you'll get rich. Like, well, that's not the truth. You have to do the work. So the problem that comes with marketing is people start at the end with the media. So should I go on Angie's list? Should I put my ad in this newspaper, magazine, publication? Someone called me and offered to give me exposure here, but they're not clear on who their client is and what problems they solve. So if I'm serving married women with dual income and 3 kids and a dog who have more money than time, that messaging is going to be very different than if I'm serving a property manager who's got a bunch of tenants and just wants to look good in front of his boss. So if I'm not clear on who is going to be reading my ad, it just can say, do you have dirty things that want to be cleaned? We're better at cleaning than anyone. And we're the cheapest. And those are, like, everyone says they're the best cleaners, and you don't want to compete on cheap anyway. So if everyone's saying they're the best, and that's the only thing they talk about, the only way that the person can make the decision is to go with the cheapest, right? Because if everyone's exactly the same, they all saying they're the best, I can't trust any of them. So I'll just go with the cheapest. Or if I really want the best, I'll probably go with the most expensive, hoping it's the best, but afraid I'm going to get scammed on price. So again, it's not that Facebook works or doesn't work. It's if you're not targeting properly, right? So you don't know who your perfect prospect is. How can you put your message somewhere that they're going to respond to it? So people start at the end, which is media, but you have to start at the beginning with who's your perfect prospect? What pain do you solve for them? And where do they go to solve that pain? And it's a lot more work, frankly, to think that through. You're just like, I just want people to pay me for money. I just, like, everyone wants the marketing. Like, I just fax over my order for 20 leads and I give them $50 a lead. They just fax back. And if that was the case, we'd all be billionaires, right? But it takes a little more than that. So the bad news is it's harder than you think. And there's no silver bullet where if I just get good at Facebook, that'll magically help you. Because there is no such thing as good at Facebook. There's good at marketing, and using Facebook as a healthy tool as part of a marketing plan. And yes, if you get good at marketing, that's going to be a skill that'll pay you forever. So the bad news is there really isn't a silver bullet that's just easy and works all the time forever, or else everyone would just use that. We'd all be billionaires. The good news is very few of your competitors, because I talk to them, are going to take the time and effort to really get good at marketing. So if you actually get good at marketing, you don't have to be a genius at it. just get better where you know who your client is. And you don't have to be an expert at marketing. Just be an expert in your client and their pain, and then go explain their pain to them and make a call to action and try and solve their pain with a low barrier to entry. It's not easy, but it's simple. So I would encourage you to refocus from everybody starts like, I just want to buy leads. I just want to buy leads. And then they go through the same thing. I did Angie's and Bark and it didn't work. Get better at marketing instead of trying to buy leads. Because no offense, the guys that really know how to market are going to charge so much you can't afford them because it would take more than your profit. Or they suck at marketing, and that's why they're trying to sell the marketing to you. And you always a red flag when people are like, I'm a social media manager and that's I'll go on Facebook and get you clients. But they emailed you or called you. It's like, shouldn't have you reached out to me on Facebook? If you're really that good, I'm on Facebook. Why don't you talk? Like if they're really good at market, the guy that's like, I can beat the market and I'll teach you how to beat the stock market. It's like, if you could beat the stock market, wouldn't you just be a billionaire beating the stock market? Why would you waste your time teaching me? So again, I wouldn't say they're a scam. I would just say they're good at this one thing, but be wary of any marketer who sells you marketing service with no questions over who the person you're trying to sell to is, what their pain is, how you solve it, how they speak to one another, where they go to solve that pain. If they're not asking these kinds of questions and like, just give me money and I'll send you leads, how could the lead possibly be any good when you didn't tell them what it is? And a lot of times you don't know the answer to that. So again, not pitching our coaching stuff, but that's what we really get to is who's your client, what's their pain, how do we articulate it? We help you answer the big questions. And whether you work with us or not, those are things that you still need to do that. Figure out who your client is, what pain you solve, how to communicate it, where they're going to solve it. It's a bigger picture. Bad news is it's harder than you think it is. Good news is it's not as hard as it could be, and that you can still get a massive return on investment if you'll just do a little bit more work than your competitors. All right. That was super preachy, but that's a big one. So hopefully that helped Sean and Tampa Bay Cleaner and Colin and Amy and all the people out there asking marketing questions. Mike Campion here. Do you ever listen to the podcast and go, this is great information, I just wish I could actually get it implemented and I wish I could get some help? Well, we do that. If you would like either myself or my team's help actually coming up with a plan that's specialized to you and your business, because with these podcasts, obviously we have to be very general and we can only go 20 minutes at a time. If you'd like to jump on a call with myself or my team, go to growmycleaningcompany.com/talk. We'll jump on a call. There's no charge. And we'll help you get some absolute clarity around exactly what to do next and how to do it. The reason we don't charge for these calls is the plan that we come up with, people want help implementing that. If that's the case, we're happy to talk about it. And if it's not, that's okay too. We're happy to just help you come up with a plan. So if you want to translate the information you're learning here into an actual plan that can change your life, give us a ring, growmycleaningcompany.com/talk. Love to either myself or have one of our coaches walk you through and actually personalize the content you get here to where you're at with your business. Talk soon.
All right. Yeah, I think so. And kind of, I don't want to say the opposite, but another direction Almighty Cleaning went with was, honestly, they said in an email, I'm just trying to get more leads without paying for them. So the last person you're saying, don't just throw money away with no, with out there with no, feedback or anything. And this person's just saying, I just want to get leads without paying for them. So any advice on that?
Yeah, well, that's another thing I get frustrated with. People come to us trying to sell stuff and like they'll ask, think they're a good salesperson, what's your marketing budget? And my answer is, well, does your marketing work? And like, of course. Well, then my budget's infinite. Like, so if it costs me $100 to get a lead with a lifetime value of $10,000, why wouldn't I pay the $100? Right? So typically when people say, I want to get a lead, but I don't want to pay for it, what they're really saying is, I don't trust my ability to fulfill on the promise I make. I don't trust that the lead's going to work. I don't trust that I'm going to be able to sell. Like I can get a lead, but I'm not going to be able to convert it. And then we have to solve those problems first, right? Like if you can't fulfill on your problem, you can't convert a lead to a sale. If you don't have those processes in place, I can give you all leads in the world, but what are you going to do with them? And if you can do that stuff, then why wouldn't you pay for leads? So I'm not saying, again, you should throw money away on leads, but if you don't have any money, it's like, well, yeah, all I don't have any money means is I don't have any money to waste on marketing, but I desperately need. So if I don't have any money, by almost definition, I want to need money. Well, where do I get money? From clients. Where do I get clients? From leads. So what are we doing here? You're confusing the problem with the solution, for crying out loud. So it is okay to be honest with yourself and go, I can't waste money on marketing that doesn't work. Got it. That's super reasonable. But more often than not, it's like, I don't know how to sell, or I don't know what a good lead is versus a not good lead, or I've been burned before. So instead of trying to get free leads, understand what a good lead is and understand your process to convert strangers into leads and leads into bids and bids into sales. And once that process is locked, I promise you can afford to pay for leads. And if you don't have that process locked, why are you wasting time and money trying to get leads that you don't know how to convert? So I think they're kind of asking the wrong, they're afraid, which is fine. I've been there, like, I'm broke. Got it. But if leads are $50 or $100 and you don't even have that, you probably shouldn't be in, like, we shouldn't be in, you got to be able to, beg, borrow, or steal a couple $100. So with most things in marketing, it's just unreasonable expectations and not looking at or thinking about the problem the right way. I shouldn't say the right way, in an effective way that's going to get you the results that you want.
Yeah, that just the question itself brought something to mind that you said before, I'm sure on a podcast, Mike, but even if they don't have money to pay for leads, they definitely probably have time. So instead of giving away money, not giving away, but paying someone else to do it, I mean, they can take the time and go out in person and go door to door, even if they had to, right? Like, just because you're low on money doesn't mean you can't use that as an excuse. I don't know. That's just what came up in my head.
Well, first of all, this is America. You can use anything you want as an excuse. It's not going to make you any money, but you can use anything for an excuse. That said, you're spot on, Lindsay. In all of business, it's going to take time or money, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't want to clean this toilet. I will pay someone else. Right. I don't want to have to find employees and make sure they do a good job and train them. So I'll find a company that will do all that and I'll pay them. And then we own the company. Well, I got $300 to do this cleaning. I could do it myself and keep all 300 because I don't have any money and I need it. Or I can pay someone $150 and keep $150 for doing nothing. So the same with all aspects of accounting. It doesn't take any piece of it. I can pay someone or I can do it myself. So yes, if you're going to be effective in starting a business, you need time. Ideally, you have time and money. Like, that's by far the best. I can't help you if you have neither. Like, if you came and you said, I don't really have any time, I don't have any money, I want to start a business. My coaching would be, go get some money. Like, get a job, find a way, earn some money, get some skills, get some money. And then, so you've got to have one. And yes, you can buy down. And I think that's probably part of the problem is we invest in, by the way, when you're broke, you think money's more important than time, but you can always get more money. Time is, when it's gone, it's gone. Mm-hmm. So usually one of the big mistakes we make as a business owner is we spend our most valuable resource, which is time, doing low value stuff because it's simple. Like, oh, I'll just clean. I can clean and make $20 or $30 or $100 or whatever I do. But then who's running the company? So you get the immediate, like, well, it saved me $20 an hour every hour I clean, but you don't see the cost of who was selling or running the company or doing the important stuff while I was cleaning. So yes, you can replace time with money, but if you do so, at the end of the day as an owner, all you really have is your time. Like, I guess you can get investors and resources and stuff like that, but the cleaning business is a pretty low barrier to entry financially. So it's not like you need $100,000 worth of equipment to start. You can start with very little cash. So time becomes just so much more valuable. Make sure you use that. People are so, I guess the whole thing I'm trying to get at is, yes, you can replace time with money when it comes to getting leads. But as a business owner, if you're like, $500 for leads, screw that, I'll just do it myself. It's like, well, are they good leads or are they not good leads? If they're not good leads, you can't afford the time or the money. If they are good leads, you'd make a better return on your time investment turning those leads into bids and sales and building those skills than trying to get the leads for free. So again, feeling preachy, but these are really important concepts that really keep new guys, especially in gals, stuck.
Got it. Yeah, it was a very good nuance there. So I'm going to take the last question. It wasn't even a question. It was really one word from RG Cleaning Services. They emailed in. They said staffing. So Mike, in 2 minutes, lightning round, what is your number one piece of advice you would give someone that their staffing is their number one thing that's out of control?
Well, first of all, the quality of the coaching is always dependent on the quality of the question. So in response to RG Cleaning Services, love you, brother or sister, question of staffing, I will respond in kind with the word hiring. And again, it's like, come on, when you give a one-word thing, it's like, well, staffing isn't super helpful, nor is hiring. So I don't even want to, I'll make you a deal, RG Cleaning Services. That is your real name. Email us back with a little more nuanced question. I promise I'll give you a nuanced answer. Because with staffing, I guess if I had to pick something, which I don't know if it's going to answer RG's question, but for the benefit of the listeners, Have a system that runs all the time for cleaners at least. So again, staffing could mean there's really administrative positions, which you kind of hire on demand because this should be low churn and you don't always need to be adding to them. And there's cleaners, which you have high churn and you constantly need to be adding to them. So the big thing with staffing on cleaners is you just have a system that's running all the time. You don't have this thing where like, I got to dial up my cleaners exactly matching my jobs and they got to be, they're not going to be matched. Just let it go. So the biggest global advice I could give with the general question of staffing is always have a hiring funnel running all the time when it comes to cleaners. So you've got more good cleaners. It's okay. People are like, I've got too many people coming in and I can't hire them all. It's like, yeah, that's the problem we're trying to create. That's a much better problem than I have work that needs to get done and no cleaners. So pick your poison. I would pick, I've got too many good cleaners. I can't hire them all. Good problem to have. I don't have a hiring funnel and I have a bunch of work that needs to be done. No cleaners. Bad problem to have.
Got it, Mike. Well, actually, that is it for this week. We got nothing else.
Time flies when you're yelling like a maniac. All right, guys, gals, if you need more help, if you want me to make fun of your question, again, email Lindsay at support@growmycleaningcompany.com, hit it in Facebook. I pick on you guys, but just because I can't see it. But love you, appreciate you. We're here to help. If you need anything at all, growmycleaningcompany.com. Check it out. See you there. Hey, Cleaning Nation, if you dug the content you just got, we don't do any ads and I don't sell anything on this podcast, but if you would just subscribe, rate, and review, it would be huge and I'd be so appreciative. Not only is it going to help me, but you'll help other owners of cleaning companies across the world work less, make more, and get profitable. So if you appreciate the value we give, again, subscribe, rate, and review. It would mean the world to me. I'd really appreciate it, and we sure appreciate your time and attention.